during our last episode, like 2 weeks ago, what was it? Like the 16th, 15th of May, something like that. We were bearish, man. People were looking into the 60s or 50s or even 40. And
The royal we, right? Not us.
no, obviously, the royal we on Telegram and Twitter and Discord and what have you not. And now the royal we is looking into the 10K area again. Because some Ishimoku or Japanese dog kind of cloud apparently is bullish, and there is some good news in Hong Kong, and I don't know what's going on, but suddenly we are bullish again. I don't even know what happens. It's just a change of direction, and suddenly everyone is bullish. And yeah, you get pretty numb. I don't really. I obviously care because it feels nice. But I just don't get the sentiment always, right? We are always here. We are always equally bullish. Obviously not price-wise, but FA-wise, nothing changed in the meantime. And so it's really
not entirely true, is it? It's not entirely true. Right?
True. Now, I mean, the FA changes every now and then. But it's just like we are getting new insights, right? But
no, but that's the whole point. And you should actually timestamp this because this is pretty good. Because we were talking about being numb, right? In Dutch, it's called afgestompt.
Yeah.
It's like when interesting things happen, it just doesn't phase one anymore, right? Numb kind of explains it. And we decided back in 2020 and 2021 that this will be the thing of this decade. Yeah, the interoperability, quant, and that this is essential.
Yeah.
For everything to come to fruition, and
we did.
And to make us wealthy as hell, right? I mean, we decided that this is enough, and we looked at the FA, we looked at what Gilbert did, all the things that you know from us, and we decided, okay, so this is the truth, right? And part of that truth is Quant is working with the Bank for International Settlement, and that's it. And Quant will be involved in the digital euro, and the digital pound, and the digital dollar. And we always knew that on a certain plane. So when the confirmation then inevitably comes, well, inevitably sounds a little bit arrogant, but it's starting to. Then we're like, oh, yeah, told you so, moving on. And in a way that's understandable, right? But it's also a little bit odd because we get the confirmation from Gilbert being on stage with the CBDC head of the digital pound, and he's like, yeah, for the tech you need to ask Gilbert. And my heart was racing, not gonna lie, but that took about half a day, and then I moved on. But it's actually pretty massive.
And I to briefly interrupt you there, I must agree. I feel like that was kind of a moment of excitement for me as well. Like one of these rare instances where I felt like, hey, we didn't see this before, right? We kind of saw this before, but we never saw it in this way. So yeah, I got excited for a bit, and that rarely happens these days. So I agree with you. But then a week passed and I already forgot it. And that's just how it goes.
Yeah, but still, right? And there is a lot going on, and a lot of things get confirmed, get reconfirmed. A lot of stuff gets dug up again. Spoke about this earlier as well, Tim. That information, FA, that originated in 2018, 2019, 2020, Samsung being one of this, was already quote unquote decided as being fact. And right now, there's confirmation coming in, and us and let's say the other OGs that were even OG before us.
We were.
They're like, yeah, we know, but it's a pretty big fucking deal. And what the problem is still with, and there was a question in Lounge today, I think, and we spoke about this on the show plenty of times. all these things that are massive, quote unquote, massive confirmations, or just massive confirmations, are not read by most folk, right? It's on LinkedIn, it's on not Cointelegraph or whatever you want to call it, and you can show that to people, but it just misses the mark every single time. Why? Because of all the dependencies, right? Talking like a coder now, but there are so many things that need to be known and need to be established in somebody's brain before they can comprehend what it means to XYZ.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't know ABC, you're not going to get to fucking XYZ. If I just tell you XYZ, you're like, XYZ, okay, that's really nice. But if you don't have the ABC and all the letters before that, it's not going to land. It's not going to hold. It's not going to resonate, if that makes sense. And that's just logical and a shame at the same time. By the way, AWS, and we'll see that in Luke Riley's thing. Luke Riley wrote in an article that they're still AWS partner. They're still AWS partner.
Yeah, are we gonna look into that? Or
later?
Oh, later. Okay. Now we're
but it was to underscore my point, right? That things, even though they seemingly changed because we haven't heard of them, doesn't mean they have. And then Luke confirming that since they are a partner.
It's just our perception that is kind of changing as we move through time, right? So like that's what I said. Like the FA itself has always been there. It's just the amount of information that we are being fed, well, that increases.
Or but if you don't fat.
We're gonna end up fat anyways, because well, I'm getting that we're going a bit off topic here. I felt fat today, honestly. I felt like a fatty. Anyway, so basically, Jarno would blame it on my diet, and we're really going off top. Okay.
Some eggs, bro.
No. It's no. But yeah, I mean, it even goes for me, right? So, I mean, I am all kind of on top of things when it gets to quant, and even I do not always understand the implications of the stuff I read every day in Coinchill and what have you not. And well, if that applies to me, then I can safely say that it will extrapolate to kind of everyone else in crypto. We don't understand. We are doing something that is so, well, innovative and all never heard of, and pioneering that nobody understands what's going on here. And why would you expect people to do so? And that is our problem. And that I thought of that today, right, with our price action. I'm just thinking out loud here because this morning I felt more clear than I do now. But like, we are not dumping as hard as we should sometimes, you know, because, well, you have all these people having faith in the project because they know what's going on. But at the same time, as long as there is no change of perception, we are not necessarily pumping as well, because people don't understand. So you get this situation where people do not really sell their holdings. You have people holding, well, significant amounts of QNT. Like, if you look at the average quant holder, they have a lot compared to other cryptos. But as long as other people do not necessarily understand what's going on here, we're not necessarily moving upwards. And only we have these breakthrough moments when people start understanding, well, bits of the story, then you will see the moments where people actually start like accumulating QNT for a bit. And that's happening right now. I think BitBoy, or at least some BitBoy content creator or whatever, I don't really care, posted something somewhere on social media. I think that kind of spurred a moment of interest from the wider crypto community. But when people lose interest, they will...
Bitcoin and ETH were pumping as well.
What?
I mean, Bitcoin and ETH both pumped, right? 3.5%, 4%.
Oh, okay.
When it started. So, and with their market caps, that's a lot of money.
Oh, okay.
3.5% of 1K.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, right? I don't know. I'm not following the market. That's exactly.
I think that could very well also have been part of.
But I think that is kind of the psychology that is underlying us, right? So you have all these people who are not necessarily selling, but a lot of crypto bros, they are, well, trying to accumulate as much quant as they can, and they will move into the next meme coin. And so as soon as our perception fades away again, then they will move somewhere else. But the diehard believers will always keep their stack. I think that's what we're seeing in the market. I'm not sure if we could have all kinds of explanations, but that at least is how I see it. I'm not sure how you think about this. Just my take. I think we have seen this many times in the past years. We are just moving through it again. But at some point, we will break out of this speculation stage, right? So we have all the perception, we know, and the believers know, and they will not let go of their QNT. But at some point, we will actually get an FA bomb that is verifiably true, and it's not only based on speculation anymore. That is when you will see the real run towards what have you not, because people start believing all the other stuff.
Yeah,
but it's always been there. That's what I think, at least. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's so specific, right? So specialistisch.
Yeah,
for the English word. You really have to be in it to understand it.
Yeah,
in it.
Yeah, you need to be in this niche. You need to understand what's going on here.
Yeah. And I'm not going to pretend to understand half of a lot of people in Counchill, but like we said in the beginning, there are dependencies, right? And if you're not following along from the beginning, it just seems like a heap of loose sand.
Yeah.
And even when I look at my relatives, I share a lot of the things that I find really interesting and easy to comprehend, and it just doesn't touch base with them at all.
Oh,
it's just that's nice, honey. That's nice.
Keep on dreaming.
Why do I even bother? And I said this in the Dutch show as well, that people are close to me, like 2021. They believed stories, price predictions, connections, whatever. And this was last week. All the points that I brought up when they asked, I didn't even bother anymore answering the questions, because simply their face is just, they ask a question, they get an answer and an explanation, and their face just cringes with disbelief because of the prices going down, right? And because that's what's going on. It's taken really long and price is dumping. So why do you keep dreaming? And when they ask for price prediction, and I'm like, yeah, okay, so I still believe this to be fair value. And then they just look at me like I'm some gambling addict going to the casino saying that I know for sure that when I put everything on zero, I'll win. And there's just, how do you say? I can't find the word.
No,
but it's contempt. No, not contempt. Oh, well, it's like this. Right. Sure, honey.
I think you're delusional, I think.
Delusional. Yeah. Something like that. It's almost like pity, right? Like there's somebody that believes something so bad, so deeply, he is so sure that they don't even bother, that they just afraid to smash my dreams or something like that. Oh well, fuck that shit. So yeah, it's sentiment changes,
but,
and depending on how much you know or you think you know, things become different. And Tim and I spoke about how we are kind of numb to the news. But we also noticed that other OGs are also more or less numb. But we also find it interesting to see that when the price goes up, and everybody gets hyped a bit more, and we throw a bunch of gifts around and some nice memes and stuff. And then even the oldest of OGs start shit posting memes again on Twitter, which is good to see, which is nice.
We've just been through a lot as community, right? And it will only get worse as time progresses. But yeah, what I just find interesting is that some people of like this first wave, let's call them we discussed this with Greg, right? The first, second wave, first, second, third wave of influencers, and like this first wave. So I'd say roughly speaking, the people who are double the time. I need to talk in English. Like they've done double the time as we did in the community, right? So we are roughly 3 years in. They are 4 to 5 years in. Let's put it that way. Like that first wave is as double the time as we did, and you just see them losing interest in the project, and that makes sense. They already made their 300x, 360 to 400x if you convert it to dollars. That makes a lot of sense. They've made a shit ton of money. But that doesn't change anything, right? So they just move on with their with their profits and go somewhere else. So some do not, right? There are still some people who are out there. Jarno is meanwhile fixing something in the background.
Yeah, there was a piece of zip tie just pricking in my leg, and was doing that for like weeks. And now I finally was so fed up with it that I grabbed the multi-tool.
Nice.
This show is not yet sponsored by Victorinox, but Victorinox, if you're watching, I know you are a Swiss company.
Yeah. Talking about first wave, it's sad to see some old members of the community leave, but on the other hand, I think it's healthy as well. And
they didn't leave; they didn't moved on to Check D.
Yeah, or some other projects.
Which is fine, right?
That will happen, and that's fine. But yeah, you will just see movements in the community, and also I think the amount of QNT that you need to be in the top 1,000 is dropping gradually, slowly but gradually. It is dropping, and it will keep dropping over time. And people say that isn't true, but it is. Look at it. They say,
19 right now.
Oh yeah, but it goes up every now and then. But it is dropping. It's just a glacier that we are following slowly. And this our pace is way too slow. We need to move on to some more serious stuff.
Yes, meetup